I'm having a great time with the balloons. Like a fantastic time with the balloons. I really want to have balloons more often. It's great. It's just so fun. Alright, to the top left-hand side, our Blue Terran player. Give it up if you're cheering on ByuN. Been a long time since I casted some ByuN. Excited to see some more here. It's going to be seen down to the bottom right-hand side, the Red Zerk player. It is from Prophecy Esports. It's Reynor. Thank you, 47 for adding $10 on the match arena page as well, I just saw. Thank you very much for that, and do appreciate you supporting the event, yo. It was great to see. So keep on using those coupon codes, guys, on the match arena. We've got so many of them to get through. I'm going to be pushing that here every couple of series or so to keep you guys heading in the right direction. Keep you guys on track with that. For now, let's see how the ZBT goes. Reynor dropping him up to Lilicannon just before. Let's see if he can maybe do something here against ByuN for game number 1 of this 2-game series. Oh, no way. I thought this was just one pink balloon, but it's actually 2 pink balloons that were stuck together. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Dr. Phillips says, I have too many things to do today. Study for 2 exams, buy groceries, do dishes since the dishwashers are gonna. Write a lab report and write a paper of about 3 to 4 pages. Why am I watching this stream? Because we give you the motivation to do all of that other stuff at a later point. Maybe, perhaps. Passion. 47 says it best. Passion. It'll be fine. I believe in you, bro. Reaper comes across the map. It was Hatch gas pool from Reynor, so not trying any of the kind of shenanigans here in terms of trying to get a few links across early or anything like that. Just getting that going, and yeah, nothing too crazy. Just very simple setup here, and the Reaper will dance with the lings for the early stages. Balloon Angel to 99 love balloons. It's my favorite suggestion so far. Wardy can play one of the advancing players. Yeah, that's not. No, no, we'll not do that. That's not a reward for anybody. Don't make him sing. Yeah, Vorment is right. You shouldn't get me to sing either. It's not a pretty sight. Sorry, my voice is a bit, throat's a bit rough. As you do see some Zerglings coming in towards the upper left-hand side of the map here, so Reynor going to get aggressive. Love to see what he can get up to. There's going to be seeing him just actually going already towards an SCV though on the natural, and he's going to get all the way into the main to get some scouting, so some good information right away. Here's ByuN. Marine on the way up behind us, a medevac as well, so he's looking to drop those Hellions or so in these early stages, or maybe he goes into the armory and goes for like a Marine drop with a few Hellilats across the map, of course, is a possibility. Seeing the couple of Hellions come to, more of them just popping out, and there indeed is the armory. So going to be seeing a little bit of a Hellbat attack here. Reynor has to make sure he doesn't get too greedy, of course, make sure he has what he needs to deal with this. He throws down the third hatch just now, so he has to be a little bit of a he has to be a little bit careful with it. As we are going to be seeing these Hellions coming back down towards the bottom right hand side and seeing what's happening. Lings up the right are going to be seeing what they can do as well. Armory going to be about 75% of the way done already, and just going to be seeing the Hellions obviously just waiting to morph into Hellbats. Only Lings here from Reynor, by the way, is going to be kind of maybe an issue, but actually look at this run by. He gets into this mineral line, and ByuN is going to take some damage. ByuN only has 1 Hellion popping out as well. That's a huge issue. Only 1 Hellion. I mean, Reynor as well plays this well, comes back down towards this depot rather than pushing up, and the wall off here with the Evos. ByuN can't make any progress over here just yet. Gotta remember though at the same time that Reynor now doesn't have as many units at home to defend this. With those things across the map. He really wants this depot. He's actually going to come in, and he is actually going to be able to pick off the Hellbat there. Nice micro by Reynor. He's continuing to move around over here as well. Queen's coming in and starting to fight. There's some Lingers need to be a little bit careful. Transfusion's coming down. He gets rid of 1 Hellbat so far, but that's not enough. He needs more than this, although he is starting to push it back, and Reynor, I feel as though he's defended this. Wow, what a play by Reynor. What a defense here against ByuN's attack. Great micro across the map. Great control back at home. Hasn't lost anything so far. Let's see if he can keep it up. He throws down his transfuse right there. Picks off another Hellbat, and ByuN is still being pushed away. Reynor, what a way to go. And now counterattacking once again. Lings going to split up in a couple of directions. Now, the Hellions here will do a good job of defending this for the most part, as you're going to be seeing the Hellions We'll get, well, we'll be able to pull away. So Helleen's clean that up, as we are going to be seeing the extra queens coming on in towards the third base. +1 missiles, +1 carapace from Reynor on the way up here. He actually did have a Liberator to deal with a moment or so ago, but it looks as though he did get rid of it. Again, more Hellbats, couple of Marines. There's Medevac just stacking up here on this right-hand side. These couple of Hellions from ByuN moving down the ramp and onto the map as well to see what they can do. Stim pack on the way. React on the factory, react on the starport. Hellbats getting going once again. Queens are going to train transfusions once more. I'm just going to be seeing a continued defense from Reynor. I mean, this again has been very impressive so far, and he's eventually going to head in towards Lingbane Hydra, it seems. Missile upgrades already on the way. The Liberator in the main and kind of just continue to move around. He's been doing some damage throughout, and is able to keep this alive. ByuN is actually going to siege it up over here, and will force the Spore Crawler to come back into position once again. Reynor not with a response to this just yet. Has to be careful. Well, the Queen actually could get into position over here and shoot it. Yes, the Spore Crawler down instead, and ByuN is going to be losing this Liberator. Just going to keep on forcing the lost mine time. Trying to break through the front of the Hellbats. Kind of an awkward spot because obviously he's kind of choked up in a corner, so he's kind of a little bit stuck, but at the same time he doesn't want to keep on committing in that direction. Hellbat's going to come in towards the front once again. The +1 carapace finished at least, but now he might lose +2 missiles. To the point where he actually just straight up cancels it before it happens. Ling's going to go across the map once more. Reynor just still, kind of ByuN actually, I guess, still doing so much here with these Hellbats, even though the initial Hellbat attack was shut down some time ago now. Queens transfusing each other again. And I have to say, Reynor's been defending so well. He really hasn't missed a transfuse or anything here. And while he's been doing this, he's been counter-attacking across the map as well. So far, it really has been very, very solid. As we're going to be seeing these Hellbats still just out of the front. And yes, it's nice from ByuN to have kept them alive as well and still be finding damage with them. For example, killing that Evo. Oh my god, the Ling is going to run into Marines, which are trying to come over to clean out the third base so he can actually land it. He's actually going to lose these Marines. Nice pickup by Reynor. And it's again, these Ling counterattacks just finding themselves opportunities, finding themselves chances and getting stuff done with it. Wow, really nicely done once more. And look at how long this CC is going to be delayed from landing. The longer it just stays up in the sky here, the longer it means that basically he just isn't producing workers that he could have been producing. Hellbat's coming up this ramp once again. This time there's a few Banes that have just finished up. And these Queens with some creep spread will actually be able to push forwards. It's one thing that ByuN has really limited Reynor on. The creep spread is non-existent right now here from Reynor. Kind of beyond his bases. You know, usually in a TvZ you'd see creep all the way out into the middle of the map, especially here on Abyssal Reef where there's so many pathways to spread that creep and just too many pathways to clean it up all the time for the Zerg, not for the Terran. It really is very impressive for ByuN to have kept this back. As he's about to hit his own 1-1 upgrades. He's finally got his third CC down and in position. ByuN able to start stabilizing here, and now will be pushing out for some larger fights, maybe loading up medevacs and drops to keep on clearing that creep. Keep the creep spread kind of, well, push back and stop it from advancing too far forward. You can see as soon as Reynor gets the chance, we actually see the creep tuners just, you know, already kind of pushing on forwards. And he'll be, as soon as they come off cooldown, I'm sure, pushing them forwards once again. There it is already, pushing on in, knowing that this is his opportunity to finally get some progress in that regard. Hydras break through these rocks on the right-hand side. +2 carapace coming up. He never got +2 missiles after cancelling it on that Evo chamber which got picked off here. So, a little bit interesting. I don't think it would be intentional for him to not go +2 missiles, but maybe he just doesn't want to build the second Evo. He starts to build it up once again now. Well, Reynor moving across the map, but he's going to have to be careful of the drop, which is currently moving in towards his main base. There's units coming into position, though. Meanwhile, Ling's across the map, set up to go once again. I want to see if Reynor can find a large attack at the moment. It would be pretty good for him. Starts up the Hive anyways, so he's going to go in towards the later stages of this game. He picks off an Overlord here. Nicely done, as we're going to see those Marines. Well, good damage dealt, and just going to be seeing the Lings coming in. They will be able to come in for the surround to try and shut down those couple of Hellbats. But Hellbat's staying alive and just escaping for now. Maybe didn't want to lose too many Lings, and just knowing he can clean it up with the Hydras instead, even if it does take a little bit of chasing. Marines coming in and picking off a whole bunch of creep humans. We're going to be seeing Banes actually do manage to get a few of those Marines on the tail end of this. Obviously, again, it's all about denying this creep spread. As we see Banes getting ready to bust through these depots and giving access to the natural base and up into the main. As Reynor maxed out will also be looking towards this fourth base at the same time. So This is what Reynor does best, splitting his armies, attacking in multiple locations, pulling his opponents out of position, and so far he has been in good control of this game, even though he's playing a legend, a monster such as ByuN. Here we go, the Bane's knocked down those depots and immediately Ling's into the mineral line. Ling's going to jump on towards these Marines in this tank as well. And that is probably just going to be a straight up kill here. A lot of Marines stim back over to help out. The tank is going to go down. Meanwhile, though, the Hydras are pushing forwards in towards the tanks. Man, there's a lot of tanks, though, and I think Vipers are almost a necessity to fight against this many units. And he is going to throw down the Vipers in the production right now. So he starts to go into that, gets it ready to go. Hydra's actually going to fight pure Marine here, but that's not a good fight. And Reynor making for the first time in this game, I really feel a mistake. A fight which is not going to go his way at all. So ByuN is going to be able to punish him for that. Picks off a whole chunk of these Hydras. Pushes Reynor all the way back and really slows down any of the momentum that he just built up in the last few moments. Two Queens coming forwards as well. Maybe want to get rid of a couple of these medevacs. Extra Banes coming through too. ByuN realizing he just killed a whole chunk. Is maybe going to try and take advantage of it. Reynor trying to engage mid-map is already forcing the tanks to siege though, which is nice. Still a positive as we're going to be seeing scans again, cleaning up even more creep tumors. Not a lot of Banes right now. Great Aspire on the way, but don't think he's going to be given the chance to truly get in towards the Broodlord tech here. If he did, it would be great because of how many tanks there are, but I mean, is he actually going to get there? Probably not. I think he's going to try and catch themselves a siege tank, but enough Marines to keep it alive. Now we're going to be seeing, well, tank being yoinked forwards. A few Banes actually going off, and it's not great. Meal drops from ByuN, I guess, just to repair his medevacs, because goddamn are they low at the moment. Queen's trying to chase them down, but doesn't quite get far enough forwards before the Marines start to greet him. It's going to be seen still back and forth here, Marines and tanks. Well, let's see what these Vipers can do. They don't actually do anything just there. Hydra's coming forwards, and the Banes getting picked off before they can make it to the army. Corruptors on the way out. Broodlords are not far away, and so if Reynor can just hold on a few extra seconds, there is potential for him here to get those broods. And if he gets those broods, there's possibilities. There really is for him to do enough, perhaps, in this game to push this back. Even a couple of broodlords from friendly fire from the siege tanks can help Reynor to maybe just turn the tides of battle. It's not going to be easy, though, of course. I love this. Another abduct forwards on the tank and just picking that off here. Vipers have to pull back a little bit before they continue to consume. Otherwise, they're just going to take too much damage. No Banes, by the way, at the moment, as Reynor, he has the Corruptors he needs to morph those broods ASAP, and he will start to morph them in right now. His 5th hatchery going to be in trouble. He might just have to let this up for now. Wait until he gets himself the Broodlords in position. He's actually going to come forward once again. Another siege tank gets taken down. A couple SCVs building up a turret and a bunker here. Being picked away at as well. A lot of SCVs coming across the map. Reynor is still just about holding on in this position. Viper's going to get the energy to go once again, but guess what's arriving? Yes, it's the Broodlords. Reynor has held on for the last couple of minutes, just about to get to this point, and Broodlords are not going to have an answer for them as ByuN right now. Tanks have to unsiege immediately here, and that gives Reynor the chance to actually press forwards, as he's been waiting to do for so long. He resieges the tanks, which I guess are going to have to target fire down the Hydras, otherwise there will be trouble here. Blinding Cloud on a lot of the tanks as well, but now Reynor will still be pushed back. Again, the issue is he needs the Hydras to protect the Broodlords, but if he goes too far forward with the Hydras, the tanks just target fire the Hydras instead of friendly firing with Broodlings onto Marines, which is what Reynor was kind of intended with these Broodlords in the first place. Hydras are still trying to hold on, but maybe just too many Marines here. There isn't any Banelings to help out. The Broods are still going at it. The tanks siege up once again. Again, the target firing is there. A yoink forwards on one tank will bring it down, but there still is maybe not enough for Reynor. He's still staying in terms of supply, but if those Broodlords die, he will be in trouble. He's consuming his hatchery mid-fight, but the Viper goes down. Things and Hydras are trying to reinforce that, but they're just so staggered in how they're coming forwards. However, the Marine count's disappearing, and without Marines here, ByuN will not be able to stay in the fight. He'll not be able to stay in the front line because he doesn't have any answer to the Broodlords. Vikings now joining the fray, but Hydras are here to push this back, and ByuN is going to be held at bay. Reynor makes the defense, and he's still pushing forwards. He's looking for these siege tanks, knowing that they're still unsieged, and knowing he can maybe take advantage of that on Hydra to the south side, but he pulls it back as well. Good play so far by Reynor. Stellar play by Reynor. Only 4 Vikings up. This is possible for Reynor to make this work out right here. Broodlords are on the high ground, and there's those Broodlings taking some shots. Hydra's coming forward to try and zone the Vikings out. There's ByuN moving his main base orbital into the 5th base location. Reynor himself kept that 5th hatchery alive earlier on. I'd love to see the reintroduction of a few Banelings here just to stop these Marines now and then. But he needs to be careful with what he spends his money on, because he also needs Vipers to keep these Vikings at bay. I mean, obviously to help against the siege tanks again and again would be a big part of this, as we are going to be seeing the units just set back on the 5th base, and for a moment or two, this game will simmer down. Players will settle, they will stabilize, they'll rebuild, but we are building up into a maxed out army on each side of the map right here. Lings and Hydras pushing forward. They're going to grab a couple of misrallied units already. The pathing not perfect there for ByuN. ByuN is actually supply blocked 180 over 180 and not making depots. And that's hurting him here for a moment or two. There's some Vikings patrolling at the front. ByuN keeping those on the front, and we're going to see Hydras actually coming in for a Marine kill. Looking for another Marine kill to the right-hand side. Gets that quickly. Nicely done again. Still some Vikings just up in the sky here and ready to pounce onto this army if the chance arises, if the opportunity is there. You're going to see this Marine going to get picked off as well. 4 ghosts currently on the way out. Mobius reactor. ByuN's hitting his late game. And that might be one of the issues for Reynor, who his late game I guess is kind of there, but still so many Hydras. And you start to trade some of these out, hit some infestors. He's going to start introducing ultras too. The ghosts become very difficult to fight against though. This ByuN is going to be well, moving around the map. He's going to go on the left-hand side, which actually opens up a big attack over here. ByuN +2 medevacs going down. It's actually nice to kill medevacs at this stage, because if you have to rebuild medevacs, it's difficult to then rebuild the Vikings or whatever else you need at the same time. Vikings will pick up a kill here on this Overlord. A couple of Overlords going to go down. Reynor has rotated back down into position. ByuN is very far forwards on creep at the moment. Marines might have to come into the front of this fight because the tanks are not sieged. He falls back in time though. Reynor is playing extremely well at the moment here in this first game against ByuN. Oh my god, look at that. As soon as he unsieges, boom, Reynor's there to pick up another tank kill. And using the creep spread to his advantage, he will just get one more tank as well. So has to be careful chasing this, because the Marines can turn at any moment. And now off creep, the Hydras do not have anywhere to run to. But ByuN is in full-on retreat mode. This is another siege tank. Now the Marines stim and turn around, but wow, Reynor was almost even expecting it here. Hydras should keep on moving, get towards the Broodlords. If he loses the Hydras, the Broodlords would be exposed, and that would not be good for him. Oh, look at this. Hydra Bane already set up to deal with this army over here. 3 Vikings just run into those Hydras, and they disappear. Vikings get taken down already. Oh, now, of course, we realize that ByuN has units over to the left-hand side, so Reynor starts to set up over to this top side. Well, okay, does he have a way to push into this here? The Broods looking for those ghosts. There's no Overseer, which I think he has to be very careful about. If those ghosts cloak and they're just going to stay hidden, it would be a major issue for him, so an Overseer or 2 would go a long way for Reynor. ByuN was able to gather up his army, but now he's on the low ground, not the high ground, and guess who's going to take advantage of that? It seems to be Reynor pushing into position. Oh my god, Vikings coming forwards, and here we go, the large fight. Snipes again set up. Ghosts are being abducted in by the Vipers. Some snipes went off, some didn't, as the Hydra Force right now is actually putting in some effort, really making some work happen here. The tank fire is insane though. Ghosts are looking for more snipes, but Broodlings are denying them, and Reynor is the one taking the supply lead on the back of this. The Viking count is huge though, and with the Vikings, he will be able to maybe shut down every single one of these Broodlords, and that's how ByuN will bounce back a little bit in the latter stage of this. Broodlords are going to get taken down. Hydras and Lings gathering up to the south side once again, getting ready to defend against a potential push forwards from ByuN. Losing that kind of Broodlord count was really painful. This is the stage where I really feel as though a couple of infestors would go a long way to help cancel fungal growths, etc. Huge here as we're going to be seeing ByuN moving around in the center of the map, still looking to see what's going on. A Link counterattack is going to come up to the top side. Oh man, I mean, a Link counterattack in here right now. And again, I guess it's the Cloak Ghost that can really do a lot here to kind of save the day. These things will go in towards the mineral line, and doesn't even get any SCVs just yet, so they're going to just have to back away. Reynor expanding behind this as well. A hatchery to the far top right side, this right-hand side base as well. Getting taken here is going to be seen still pushing forwards. Vikings, Marines, Ghost, Tanks, and Medevacs. The composition from our Terran player pushing in towards the Zerg, who doesn't have upgrades for these Ultras beyond the Carapace. Well, Carapace is the most important one, but snipes are coming down already. The Vipers throw down a blinding cloud. Reynor's taking a large fight here. Extra tanks are sieging. The Ultras are still pushing forwards. The snipes aren't enough just yet, but now they keep on coming down. Ultra is still going down all over the place, but Reynor seems to have enough to keep on pushing this. The Hydra Force is still very powerful. Some extra snipes, but now the Ghost's running out of energy. Pulling back once again onto the creep spread. A couple Marines up here being shut down by a Queen and a Spine Crawler. So that drop is not doing a lot. Both players here push to the maximum in terms of the money they're having to spend. Ultras are going down, and that might give ByuN just a bit of pushing power through into this base. Hydras have to pull back here. Another Ultra arrives. Infest is on the way, but they're not going to have fungal growth right away because there's no pathogen glands. And ByuN is going to break the fourth phase. What a game number one between these two players as ByuN finally gets rid of the fourth phase. The random swarm host comes into play, and it looks as though it's going to be enough. Reynor just didn't quite have the quality of army here. I think get a few of these infestors up a bit sooner and it could look so very different, but they just weren't here in time, and the ghosts have just ran a riot. Ultras kept on dying everywhere. GG! ByuN takes game number one of this 2-game series against Reynor. He didn't mess up at all. It was calm, it was confident, he knew what he wanted to do, he was hitting at the right times, he kept ByuN back, he punished him. You know, everything was going so great for Reynor, and you know, ByuN played fantastic too to deal with a lot of that and to clean up creep himself, harass with that Liberator here and there, deal with the fights, deal with the repositioning of Reynor, which is fantastic too. He got up the counter to Broodlords when he needed to. Everything was there in this game. Like, these guys played some amazing StarCraft 2. What a first game between the two of them as we have to the top left-hand side our red Terran player. It's ByuN. He's going up against the blue Zerg to the bottom right-hand side of the map. Give it up for Prophecy Esports Reynor. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream here today, do not forget to hit that follow button. See when we go live again in the future. We'll cast live daily StarCraft 2 action right here on the channel. Hitting that follow button allows you to see when we are going live and when we are bringing you guys even more StarCraft 2. If you're really enjoying the matches, of course, you can support the channel as well by subscribing. If you've got Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. Give that sub button a link. It'll say subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. Every sub helps, and all of it goes a long way towards us being able to keep on producing StarCraft 2 content on a regular, daily basis for you all. And of course, if you want to support the players in particular, that's what the Matcherino page is for. ! Matcherino in the chat. You can throw a few dollars their way. You can get some rewards for it. You can use the coupon code to add $1 for free if you can't afford to donate yourself, which is perfectly fine, of course. Keep those dollar coupon codes coming on through. What's up, SYF Crimson, my man? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Can we get some Wardy Hearts up in the air for Crimson? Thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate it, yo. Let's see some Wardy Hearts in the chat. As we are just getting set up here into game number 2 right now. What's up, Just a Burger, coming in with a brand new fresh Twitch Prime sub. How you doing? Let's see some more Wardy Hearts as well. Another new sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very kind. Marine base opening here is hunting down an Overlord, but it does get to a high ground. Problem is the Watchtower will give him the vision, and so for the second game, ByuN is going to be the one to take the upper hand right away. And yeah, in case you guys don't know, maybe you just haven't heard of Reynor, he is only 15 years old. He's only 15 years old. You can see this hatch again dropped here to the right, and we're going to be seeing a couple of Hellions will be popping out. Worth noting, by the way, Abyssal Reef was ByuN's map pick. This is Reynor's map pick, so we'll see what he can do on maybe a map which he prefers. Couple of Hellions moving out into the center already. He has the ByuN going to go in towards the bottom right and obviously start just poking and prodding, seeing what he can find. These couple of Hellions continue to move on through, and Medivac is on the way up right now from ByuN, so similar build to the last game, getting ready to go with this Hellbat attack. This game it's a full wall off at the front though. ByuN actually taking the wall off at the low ground very early on, and so taking that wall off on the low ground already, it means he's fully walled so that Ling run-bys, etc. are not going to be as effective against him throughout these early stages. Hellions, a couple of them pulling back. They've seen the third hatchery, and so far Reynor does not know about this attack, it seems. Obviously, one of the big things for him will be building up enough of a Queen counter fight it, and you know, last game he did do it very well, even though he was maybe not immediately kind of fully prepared beyond the Queens. Let's see what he'll do this time around. Obviously, you won't have the counter attack on the other side of the map at the same time this time around because of that full wall off. Which means he might just have more Lings at home to help him defend. Have to micro those Lings carefully against the Hellbat attacks. You never want too many to be kind of hit by the Hellbat at once because of the way the splash damage works. As you can see, the Queens a little bit out of position here. Gavin, of course, the natural, so they do get here in the end. A couple of drones transferring mid-fight. Well, one of them gets roasted immediately. A Queen going down too. The second Queen also starting to drop, but he has got the Lings doing quite a bit here. As the Queens get targeted, the Lings are kind of out of the line of fire for the splash. So actually, the Lings doing a pretty okay job at staying alive. This Queen is running for its life. Ooh, makes a bit of a harsh turn there. You can see this Marine going down too. Menevac is still here though. Extra Lings should clean this up. Honestly, Reynor's not in too bad a position. He's even kind of already making another drone. Losing the Queens does suck though. But he still has enough Queens to, you know, kind of inject his bases, which is one of the big important things. He is making new ones. I mean, it's basically a trade out of army here, I'd say. Resources lost a little bit favorable to ByuN. Let's see what happens. I mean, there's one more Hellbat goes down. Yes, ByuN takes the slight edge on this. Just be careful. Doesn't want to rally too many more units forwards if Reynor does just have enough to defend. Oh, those Hellbats taking a little bit of damage right there. It's quite crazy. Creep spreading out and continuing to push in towards the center. Cloak Banshee is going to be finishing up here as well. The Stim Pack is starting up right now, so Stim coming on through. A couple of extra barracks on the way. Factor will move off the reactor, give space for even more racks. ByuN going to continue playing the bio style here. Drone's going down. What's that to? Just the Banshee flying in. Oh, this time Reynor was not prepared, or he has a Spore actually on the main base, not on the natural. Okay, he is relocating on the natural now. Okay, a couple of drone kills then. Some lost mining time is the big thing. So many of these units from the natural having to come up in towards the main. This Banshee poking away at the Queen once again. And we are going to be seeing these Queens continue to move around. Hellbats and the Banshee coming in. Obviously no lair at the moment, so no mobile detection. So Spore might actually have to just come forwards. This Banshee in the main base gets taken down. We are going to be seeing the Queens for now just transfusing each other so they can tank the damage off the Banshee. Reynor will push this back once again. Currently still sat 55. Or 57 to 48 workers. The worker count is good. He's holding on. He's looking good. Nicely done. Lair continue to come on through. 1-1 missile upgrades coming up as well. And again, this Overlord moving through the main base. Scouting around, just giving Reynor the information as to what is going on here. What is this follow-up looking like, etc. Reynor actually finds himself a Stim Pack on this side of the Warlock. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get it. He doesn't have enough Lings to really continue fighting. There's actually this one SCV here, I guess, repairing this Stim. I kind of thought this SCV was maybe a mistake, and maybe it still is, but maybe it's actually intentionally there so you can have some repair on the Stim Pack. It'd be kind of crazy if he did. In the middle of the map, getting picked off by a few more Marines and a Hellbat here, and Reynor just bleeding off a couple of units here and there this game, losing a couple of units here and then. It's something he needs to be very cautious about. He can't afford for that to keep on happening. If that keeps on happening, then obviously it gets into a bit of a tough position when it comes to defending follow-up attacks like this one, now that Stim is ready and now that ByuN is feeling comfortable to start moving out and onto the map. He's coming in with a couple of Marine kills, a couple of Hellbats getting picked away at as well. We'll continue to come up this right-hand side. Queens and Lings continue to get set up as well, and we're not going to see those Marines get able to pick off one Overlord already. Now, he's going to run on in, and we are going to be seeing these Marines already having a pretty good time. The Banes don't have Bane speed for a little while longer, and it looks as though the 4-patch Reynor going to be in a lot of trouble here. This time, ByuN is able to pick up that kill. It's going to be a cancel there in the end, and the tank now will unsiege and back away. A lot of these Zerglings going to go in towards the upper left-hand side, and they're going to hit into towards this mineral line. But we're actually going to see the Marines going to get surrounded here by these Lings. Tanks are going to go down. The Marines are dropping. These Lings are doing a very good job of just working their way through so many of these units here. A few more Lings going down towards the end as, again, the Marine is the Hellbat, the tank from ByuN. Still on the other side of the map. Reynor's counterattacks not doing enough this game. Not keeping ByuN busy enough. Not keeping him distracted. And we're going to be seeing this group of Queens continue to throw down creep tumors. Reynor continue to spread this on forward. Is going to see the Lingbane Hydra set up to go once more. Still these few units up the right-hand side. Musco Augments finishing up right now. Again, a few more Marines in towards the center of the map. A tank moving in towards the middle too, and we're going to see a couple more Zerglings here from Reynor. Just over to the left. They get taken down pretty quickly. Bit of a calmer game than the last one. My last game on Abyssal Reaper was absolute mayhem from about the 10-minute mark onwards. I guess we'll see if it's going to happen again here now. It's going to start getting crazy. It's just going to be clearing at the moment. Obviously, those Marines can jump into medevacs just before those banelings connect. They are able to get away. As you're going to see those lemmings coming in. They will actually this time be able to surround, and the Banes do connect too. ByuN still just sort of controlling his army in the center, and Creep just being repositioned after getting cleaned up a little bit just before. Be very careful again. These lings are, I kind of feel, just chasing a little bit too long here and there. Marines grabbing themselves another couple of creep teamers here, and more Hydras gathering together. Another scan coming down. 2-2 upgrades on both players are pretty evenly kind of timed out. Still just sitting on Lingbane Hydra though, and again, so far this game, his momentum has not been, has not quite been there, I suppose. Infestation Pit will come down behind this mineral line. Again, last game, it seems as though he started to run by and it went kind of okay, and so because of that, he kind of had confidence perhaps to keep on doing it, and it worked out very well for him moving forwards. This game, finally, he's actually going to get a bit of a Ling run by off to the left side, and Hydras will reinforce this as well. The Plan Tree wasn't ready, so he could have actually got a couple SCVs here, but he'll just go for the depot. Plan Tree will finish up in the meantime, which means these Hydras maybe can't do too much else. Marines pushing forwards, we are going to see ByuN just pushing a few of those queens back at Baneling here. Forwards as well, some creep getting cleaned out too. A few more creep teamers going down, and still just this army of ByuN in the center. Really just powering up, and now 2-2's in play. He really will want to start pushing and forcing the issue a little bit. Hive on the way with the Spire timed up as well for that greater Spire transition. Once again to Broodlords once more, however. I think the first thing, again, on the agenda has got to be those Vipers. Against this sort of a tank count, there's no way you can fight this without Vipers, surely, but Reynor's going to start moving forwards anyways. His Banes have already been taken down. Hydra Force is still pretty strong here, but man, those tanks are chunking away at them. The Marine numbers are dropping though, and so all of a sudden, we are going to see Reynor able to make access up in towards this ramp and in towards the center, where the tanks obviously are sitting, and so Reynor's going to keep on taking this down. Another couple of tanks dropping here. Another Marine, another Marauder. Spreading out these Hydras still. We're going to be seeing another Siege Tank or two going down, and Reynor's cleaned up the entirety of ByuN's central army. Meanwhile, a drop to the top right-hand side is going to get hit by a Baneling, but not before he gets rid of the 4th hatchery. And so the 4th base goes down, although there's actually maybe a 4th base down here. Perhaps that was the 5th, actually, I should be saying. 5th hatch goes down. Hydra's on the hunt for the medevac, but it's pulling back home. I feel like winning a fight like that in the middle from Reynor, cleaning up so many tanks. Maybe that's time for him to kind of strike out onto the map and see what's going to happen. Creep teamers coming down into the middle, and I'm just going to be seeing these Hydras actually do find the drop on the top side. I guess maybe he doesn't want to commit too far forwards because he is getting Broodlords on the way, and obviously he feels that if he hits Broodlords, his late game is going to be at a good position anyways. He definitely can hit these Broodlords kind of powerfully. We're going to see those Hydras pulling back down to the south side. Hydra's Queen is going to be... let's see what they can do. Marines and Aurora's going to be pushing through the center. A couple of Crypt Teamers getting cleaned up, but Reynor's on point. He's already getting them replaced by a Queen here in the middle, so making sure he keeps that creep up. And remember, the Greater Spire is not far away. ByuN loads up 2 medevacs to go and drop around. Going to be seeing what he can do here. Sorry for the lack of sound for a moment, guys. 2 medevacs coming all the way around the left-hand side and through the south, as we are going to be seeing the a little bit of the army pushing in towards the middle. How that gets picked off here, and we are going to be seeing another Overlord going to get picked off. Moment or two. Some Brood Teamers push back as well. 7 Broods now on the way, and so here we go. I mean, it's basically the push from ByuN, which isn't really going to arrive in time to punish the Broodlord switch. Now we do see a drop into the main, but Hydra's already coming in to respond to it, and actually with these medevacs, be very careful, because obviously the Hydras will be able to kick them off. He gets one, the empty one, but still a nice push away, and Broodlords are now ready. What's the answer to the Broodlords right now? There is no anti-air in this army from ByuN, apart from the Marines. The Marines don't quite cut it against the Broodlords. Broods coming forwards, and they are going to be able to pick up a siege tank nice and quickly. Continue to push on forwards, Lings and Hydras continue to come through the center. Just to the south side, looking to see what they can get up to. A few Marines and a medevac as well. ByuN just keeps on losing these medevacs around the map. Like, Reynor just keeps finding them. Anyways, time for his Brutes to get into action. But actually, the Brutes are on their own. Where are the Hydras? They're not coming forwards. Oh my god, loses a bunch of Broodlords here. Well, that's a big mistake from Reynor. His Hydras just off and away. I really feel like Reynor should be, looking to use these Brutes, like pushing forwards with them, making use of the fact that he has these amazing units to utilize before ByuN's ready for them. I mean, the tanks are just sat in the background. They wouldn't help at all. Now Reynor's kind of giving ByuN time to set up, and also, obviously, losing a couple of Broodlords here and there hurts a little bit as well. I just continue to come over to the right side. They have to clean up this Liberator, as we are going to be seeing the 6 drones getting picked off. ByuN still pushing through the center, and we are going to be seeing Corruptors coming forwards as well to keep on fighting against this. Broodlords dropping down some more Broodlings, and we are going to be seeing tanks now going to have to unsiege, and this is what I mean. I mean, get aggressive with these. I mean, ByuN is the one who's actually being aggressive and allowing Reynor to take the fight. But imagine Reynor took the fight to ByuN, and it was this sort of scenario. Then he keeps on pushing towards the base. Obviously, it's different now with the Vikings up. I do still wonder what a couple of Infestors could do in this army. Just to slow down some of these units here and there, and maybe just create some better fights. Force our Terran play to be very cautious about staying stacked up together. Viking count continue to rise quite rapidly now. Ghosts on the way up too. And I guess Reynor's still just sitting back. Obviously, he's got his reasons for sitting back. He has me like, you just go and kill him. Obviously, from Reynor's side, it's a lot more complex than that. He wants to make sure he has enough to kill him. He wants to make sure he's making the right moves, hasn't come maybe behind it and so on. And he would be fighting off the creep, remember, so it's always something that's worth mentioning, because fighting off creep is never pretty in comparison. I was going to see Hydra's getting rid of a lot of the Vikings. I have to say, ByuN losing a lot of those Vikings right away. This wasn't really a brilliantly positioned fight from him. Vikings were coming right on top of where the Hydras were. Makes that fight a lot easier for Reynor than it maybe should have been. Vipers now on the way out. We haven't seen Vipers at all just yet, which is very impressive to fight against this number of tanks again and again without the Vipers. But we've got to get worried about the fact that Ghosts are on the way out. We have seen those Ghosts in a previous, in the previous game. They became very deadly here, and obviously the similar situation could arise where they get to be very deadly once again. So you have to be a little bit cautious with these. And we've seen a scout on top of this army, a scan down to the south, just checking out some of this troop spread. Bane's getting set up here in towards the center. We're going to be seeing a few Marines top side. We're going to pick off a couple of creep tumors. And again, the +2 melee just over, halfway done at the moment. Vikings continue to gather together from ByuN, getting ready to push on in through the middle. Creep will continue to push. Continue to spread. I love the fact that Reynor's repositioning it, and he's also still spreading it around the top and the bottom. He's making this map his own. But again, what does he do against these ghosts? Well, a few extra Banes will help. But the thing is as well, like, you need something to try and cancel those snipes, and Fungal Growth is so good at it. Snipe gets cancelled if the ghost gets damaged at all during the channel duration. And the Fungal Growth obviously can cancel a bunch of snipes at once because it will do some damage. It will cancel those snipes. So it's one way that I think the Infestor can be really awesome here. As ByuN just sets up a very defensive position himself. He's happy for this to go into the later stages. Is going to drop down, and well, there's the first couple of snipes coming in, and that's what's so powerful about those ghosts. Just like that, all of a sudden, Broodlords will disappear, and Hydras as well, and oh my god, look how many snipers are coming down. Again, there's just no way to really stop those ghosts from kind of casting that ability in Reynor's army at the moment. Not if the tanks are supporting from a distance as well. Stops the Banes from connecting and all sorts. Fire to the south side is going to be coming through here, picks off another creep tumor. More command centers being built up currently. Marines picking off an Overlord, so that gets taken down as well, and we are going to be seeing the Burrow from Reynor currently on the way up on the bottom right hand side too. A little bit of Hydra drop over here, that's actually doing some damage, but it's not going to last very long. The snipes are going to be good to kill off the Overlords and the Hydras. And again, with this many ghosts, the energy is expendable. Where, using the energy to get rid of the Hydras nice and quick, completely worthwhile, definitely can use it. Ultra's Cavern drops from Reynor, so he's going to look for a transition, but god, I really just feel like... But what do the Ultras do that the armies right now isn't doing? I guess it gives them a bit more of a pushing force forwards, but... I mean, I guess it then absorbs the snipes, because the Ghosts will have to snipe the Ultras to make sure they don't do too much, but that's the issue. I feel like they just go down to snipes. Snipes are pretty good, man. Ghosts seem pretty sick if you can get up to them. And that's the position we're in right now. ByuN has got those up. He's continuing to expand around the map still. His command center here is going to be dropping down. And Reynor has money to play with though, and that's why ByuN has to keep expanding himself. Reynor at 7k, 3k. Might even just be worth Reynor trying to take a fight or two just because he is in the position where he wants to trade out and, you know, utilize his bank. Right now sitting back and getting picked away little by little. He's not really getting to do that because he's not really trading back, although resources lost. It's a lot more even than I thought it was, only 1.5k difference. Nuke on the way up in this main base, and so we are starting to see our Terran player just take this to the next level. We might actually get to see a nuke here today in game 2 of ByuN Reynor. Just to the south side, are going to pick up a sensor tower and a missile turret as well. We'll take a little bit down. Shears and Marauders and Marines will sim on in. Those Hydras going to get pushed away though. Well, in the middle of the map, here we go. A little bit of a push forward. The Broodlords try and drop the Broodlings as a way to kind of, again, cancel those snipes perhaps, but the Vikings are here and they pick away so many Broodlords in the meantime. Again, it wasn't really the fight that Reynor needed there. Losing a lot, and we just saw 1.5k resources lost difference rise to 3k. Can't keep on trading like that, not unless he's going to mine so much more than ByuN throughout this. And right now, ByuN is on the same amount of bases as Reynor, and so it's not like Reynor is mining tons more than ByuN over time here. See, ByuN's actually just taking a bit of an eco lead. And the eco difference throughout the game is actually very minimal. 21 minutes in, what a series this has been. It was a long game, number 1, back and forth and crazy. Game number 2 has been a bit more calm, a bit more relaxed, but still a bit more back and forth. It's had its moments. As you're going to see, those Vikings still up in the sky. You're going to be seeing a couple more missile turrets dropping down. Vipers continue to consume this base down to the south side, and a little bit of energy on themselves, getting ready for the next fight as players max out once again. 22 ghosts on the map currently. He's got that nuke to utilize as well, which he hasn't used yet. Waiting for that to come on down. We'll see if it was just something he upgraded just because, or whether he actually has plans for this. The scan and the snipe is... he finally gets one snipe off, but only one snipe. He actually loses a ghost or two there. Broodlings are, again, forcing that friendly fire and picking off a couple of those ghosts nicely. More bio here from ByuN to the south side is set to push on in towards this hatchery as well in the next couple of moments, and there it is already. A couple of creep tumors are starting to drop down here. Hydra's able to push on in, and we are going to see a Marine or 2 Marauder getting picked away at. Banelin's coming through the south side as well. Ghosts in the middle of the map, pulling back also. Ultra's cabin. And he's of course up, and we're starting to see Ultras. I mean, we haven't seen any Ultras so far. I'm pretty sure that is the first one. Haven't lost any, right? So yeah, it's the first Ultra or 2 starting to build now. We'll see what they add into this army. We'll see what they can do. May just use them to run by as kind of really tanky run by units. But even then, Ghosts are actually very good at cleaning them up. By working its way through those rocks for a moment or 2 here. Broodlings getting going once again, chasing down a couple of units. Oh, something hit these Ghosts, maybe a couple of Banes. Doesn't look like he lost any, but I'll use some of the medevac energy to heal those up now. The SCV's going down here and there. Actually, more Burrowed Banes. Ooh, didn't really think about Burrowed Banes. That's something that's very fresh here from Reynor. That definitely could. Well, spice things. So if you imagine all these ghosts running, maybe that's what just happened. Burrowed Banes is what those ghosts run on top of. Very stacked up, sieged up position here from our Terran player in the middle of the map. You can see the Broodlords trying to fight against it, but how do you fight against this? Oh my god, the snipe's starting to come on down. So you're going to see Banes rolling forwards too, but they can't justify going towards the tanks. The ghosts are able to pull back. I think one of the things that Reynor might want to try and do here then, you see he kind of keeps baiting these ghosts forwards to snipe. Maybe set up a Bane trap where he kind of says, oh, come on, come and, come and grab my brews. And the reality is he actually just, like, boom, blows the Banes up, kills the ghosts. If all these ghosts disappear, it'd be kind of huge for him, as we're going to be seeing these creep tumors getting cleaned out right now. Pushing forward, see these creep tumors disappearing pretty darn quick. A couple Marines and a Marauder will continue to work their way through this hatchery. That's going to drop now in a moment or so as well. Again, Broodlords, Ultras, Banes, Corruptors, everything gathering in this bottom right-hand side. And there's so many bases, by the way, so many orbitals, to the point where I'm not sure why he still has SCVs. 10 orbitals, he could get rid of so many of these SCVs. I guess he just wants to build up a bank still. Broodlords trying to come on forwards once again. Imagine there's just Burrowed Banes right here. Yes, they would have got scanned, but here we go. Those are going to cloak up, and a few of them getting caught by the Broodlings. As the Banes do get a chance to connect on in, and little bit of back and forth trades right now. Resources lost, just a 4k difference, 3.5k. Not too much different from before. It's a really good way of just showing us how exactly these fights and how these skirmishes are going, just to keep track of the difference in resources lost. ByuN working their way through that hatchery, and we are going to be seeing Vikings and Liberators in the center of the map as well. Trying to do a little bit more. Another scan here, and another Ultras will get picked away at. One Ultra goes down, 2 Ultras go down. Just pulling up to the top, and again, another couple of Corruptors, 7 more Hydras on the way. Broodlords, Ultras, Banes coming in towards the middle, and you're going to see these Corruptors actually pushing forwards. Oh my god, the parasitic bombs! There's going to be a bunch of Vikings going down. You're going to see the Broodlords turn to fight. The Ghosts all in the center of the map, and oh my god, the scans keep on coming. I mean, Broodlings again will catch a few of those Ghosts. The initial wave of Broodlings just dropping down so quickly. Yeah, and resources lost is what I'm going to turn to, and that one definitely was a ByuN trade. Taking a 3k resources lead further than he had already. Couple of scans coming down, more Broodlords on the way up. Dare look at units lost in this game. 200 Marines almost. What's crazy in these numbers? 15 Broods, 22 Vikings, 13 Ghosts. I wouldn't say there's anything too ridiculous. 80 Hydras is quite a lot though. Obviously, a lot lost so far throughout this. That's 26 minutes in. It's game 2 of Reynor ByuN here today. And you can see Reynor is actually going to find SCVs transferring down towards this base. Oh, there we have it. The nuke is off, up, and away. He's finally going to find a chance to put this into play. And, well, look at that. Reynor finds it. It's so crazy difficult to see these nukes because there's so many bases he has to check to figure out where it is. So being able to come over here and just to kind of deal with it so quickly, respond so fast, very impressive. Probably going to start seeing some like protective spore crawlers kind of on the edges of the creep spread to kind of watch for Ghosts coming through. I love the fact there's still Banes down here. We talked about setting up those traps. Imagine the Broods came over here and forced the Ghosts to pull down south, and now those Banes get to go off. That would have been a trap a long time in the making. Maybe that's the sort of trap you need to catch ByuN off guard. You're going to see a CC just get picked off, but I mean there's so many more command centers where that one came from. Loses a few units in this process, and again, he just doesn't really seem to have a way to counteract these Ghosts at the moment. ByuN pushes in. We are going to be seeing a couple of Banes crashing forwards, a couple of Marines going down. This hatchery will get taken down as well here. Ghosts pulling back up to the top side. Now we are going to see Banes and Ultras on the south side. And he is just going to throw into a pick off this base, but the Ghosts still managed to take down the Ultras. 3 of them somehow staying alive in this corner. He actually unburrowed those Banes to use them in this fight. These 2 bases here are really being denied. These 2 as well, I guess. So 4 bases on the map that players are struggling to take and keep a hold of. Bases that are needed because right now there is not a lot of mining left otherwise. We're talking about 200 or 400 gas on this base. About 1,500, 2,000 minerals. Up here there's like 2k gas, and okay, I mean this is a healthier base, but that's really one of the only healthier bases. And so you really do need these bases to start being mined from. The thing is, ByuN just can relocate like a single orbital so quickly, so suddenly. And with being able to kind of relocate an orbital so quickly, he can just mine from it, mule it up a chunk, and get a bunch of eco, whereas obviously Reynor has to get the hatchery up, then mine from it, before he loses it to get something out of it. It's a really, really rough spot here for Reynor, as ByuN really is able to build up his own bank. And one of the issues for Reynor is that now his gas bank is disappearing as well. And gas is going to be one of the rarer resources on the map. He's about to mine out of this base here. This base has about 2,000 gas left. That's all he's got in terms of current bases that are up. This base here obviously will give him a whole chunk more gas, but gas really is becoming a bit of a rare resource, and that's why trying to find a way to use these Zerglings will be very useful, but he might not be able to really get the chance. If Ultravisk up here goes down to the main army of Reynor to the south, though, and they're starting to push on through again. He has to deny one of these bases. He's going to choose to try and deny this one over here. Fungal Growth will grab those Ghosts, and that's perfect, although they hit a couple of really good EMPs. Here come the rest of these Ghosts moving on through the Broods. They'll start getting sniped on down. Younkyu's have a bunch of those. Ooh, big Fungal Growth, nicely done, but it doesn't really have any sort of follow-up to it. No Banes coming forwards. Trying to be able to clean that up as we're going to see these Ghosts again, looking to see what they can do, but that's the last Fungal. So Reynor's going to be pushed back away, and ByuN is going to keep on mining this base. Reynor now has 1,000 gas in the bank, mined out over here. This base is going to go down. Reynor should have maybe been able, trying to take this base while he positioned his army to this south side, if that was his plan. Position it down to this south side and then push in towards this position. As we are going to be seeing the Bio from ByuN working his way through this extractor, through this hatchery. Ultras and Hydras coming on, seeing what else is happening. We're going to see the Brood Lords going on once again. These pull in, and they are going to be able to repair up this Planetary Fortress. Planetary going to take some damage once more. Wow, really good damage being dealt here though by Reynor. Continue to just pile on the pressure onto that Planetary Fortress. 30 minutes into game number 2. Guys, we are completely live right now. These games are not from replay. Just to answer a couple of questions in the chat. I believe the games on OSC Esports channel might be from replay at the moment, which is why some people are asking. We are live in game as it happens. And we have been for 30 minutes. Scanning coming down up to the top side. There's Bioforce from ByuN coming through as well. Ultra is going to drop pretty quickly. Every upgrade pretty much upgraded in this game. A couple of armor upgrades on air units and mech armies. Not quite there. Single goes caught in the fungal. Second fungal catches a couple of ghosts, but there's just no follow-up to it. And again, what does Reynor do? He's running out of the gas bank. Again, he doesn't have the gas to just go endlessly with this here. Still so much of this bio to the top side as well, just waiting for the right chance to strike. There's so many ghosts, by the way. He has 36 ghosts on the map. He needs to be so very careful with them. Let's see. Well, he has been so very careful with them so far. Seeing the Vikings moving away, and we are going to see another fungal growth coming down. He's using those fungals when he can, but the EMP strike, and now the Invaders don't have any energy left. Vikings moving backwards and forwards. The Ghost trying to get in position once again. Still being very cautious, and they don't want to go too far into creep, especially because of those Banelings. Has denied this base top side. He's got a lot of bio over here to potentially come around and to keep on attacking. Another Liberator going to siege up once again. Still just setting up here as the Broodlords, the Corruptors, the Hydras. Going to get ready to push on forwards once more. The Broodling's going to drop on top of these Ghosts. A little bit of damage starting to be done. Drop up here got cleaned up, at least something that goes Reynor's way, but again, now he's on kind of his final army of the game. Unless he starts running gas over here in the next couple of seconds, all he's going to be able to rebuild is pure Zerglin and Queen, and I don't think that's quite going to cut it. He's going to try and expand up here as well, but how long until ByuN just pushes with another couple of medevacs of units to clean that out? Resources lost now 53 to 43k. ByuN's just been edging that kind of advantage further ahead while also mining some extra bases. That's what really makes the difference here. Reynor knows right now that he cannot sit around any longer because he has no bank to work with anymore. And he just tries to push on in, but then he realizes, oh, that's not working, so he backs away. Where does he end up now? Now he ends up with really nothing at all, and well, ByuN just continue to throw down snipes, continue to fight this. Reynor trying to do some in and out action, trying to figure out a way to make this work, but Queens are going down to Liberators. Ghosts are still here. I mean, the Broodlings are doing a good job of pushing them back, but now look at the Vikings. I mean, the Corruptors just getting kited away. They're getting kited towards missile turrets even. Corruptors keep on disappearing. Broodlords going down, and it looks as though now ByuN really is in control of this game. He looks as though he has got this and has the ability to close it out even perhaps in the next few minutes. One epic 2 games between Reynor and ByuN. This doesn't give you hope for Reynor as a player in the future, in the rest of this tournament, wherever, then I don't know what would, because this was one hell of a showing from him. Only beaten by one of the best Terran players in the entire world. Absolutely crazy. As ByuN takes game number 2, and he does 2-0 Reynor after